How long do souls remain in purgatory? The length of time souls are detained in purgatory depends on the number of their faults, on the malice and deliberation which these have been committed, on the penance done or not done, the satisfaction made or not made for sins during life. Much too depends on the suffrages offered for them after death. What can be safely said is that the time souls spend in purgatory, as a rule, is very much longer than people commonly imagine. We will quote a few of many instances which are recounted in the lives and revelations of the saints. St. Louis Bertrand's father was an exemplary Christian, as we should naturally expect, being the father of so great a saint. He had even wished to become a Carthusian monk until he learned that it was not God's will for him. When he died, after long years spent in the practice of every Christian virtue, his saintly son, fully aware of the rigors of God's justice, offered many masses and poured forth the most fervent supplications for the soul he so dearly loved. A vision of his father still in purgatory forced him to intensify 100-fold his suffrages. He added most severe penances and long fasts to his masses and prayers. Yet 8 whole years passed before he obtained the release of his father. Saint Malachi's sister was detained in purgatory for a very long time, despite the masses, prayers, and heroic mortifications the saint offered for her. It was related to a holy nun in Pamplona who succeeded in releasing many Carmelite nuns from purgatory, that most of these had spent there terms of from 30 to 60 years. Carmelite nuns in purgatory for 40, 50, and 60 years. What will it be for those living amidst the temptations of the world and with all their hundreds of weaknesses? Saint Vincent Ferrer, after the death of his sister, prayed with incredible fervor for her soul and offered many masses for her release. She appeared to him at length and told him that had it not been for his powerful intercession with God, she should have remained in interminable time in purgatory. In the Dominican order is the rule of pray for the Master Generals by name on their anniversaries. Many of these have been dead several hundred years. They were men especially eminent for piety and learning. This rule would not be approved by the Church were it not necessary and prudent. We do not mean to imply that all souls are detained equally long periods in the expiatory fires. Many have committed lesser faults and have done more penance. Therefore, their punishment will be much less severe. Still, the instances we have quoted are very much to the point of it. These souls who enjoyed the intimacy, who saw the example and shared in the intercession of great saints during their lives, and who after death were aided by their most efficacious suffrages, yet were detained for such a length of time in purgatory. What may not happen to us who enjoy none of these wonderful privileges? Why such a lengthy expiation? The reasons are not difficult to find. The malice of sin is very great. What appears to us small faults are in reality serious offenses against the infinite goodness of God. It is enough to see how the saints wept over their faults. We are weak, it may be urged, that is true, but then God offers us abundant graces to strengthen our weakness, gives us light to see the gravity of our faults and the necessary force to conquer temptation. If we are still weak, the fault is all our own. We do not use the light and strength He so generous offers us. We do not pray, we do not receive the sacraments as we should. An eminent theologian wisely remarks that his souls are condemned to hell because of one mortal sin for all eternity. It is not to be wondered at that other souls should be detained for long years in purgatory, who have committed countless deliberate venial sins, some of which are so grave that at the time of their commission, the sinner scarcely knows if they are mortal or venial. They may have committed too many mortal sins for which they have had little sorrow and done little or no penance, the guilt has been remitted by absolution, but the pain due to the sins will have to be paid in purgatory. Our Lord tells us that we shall have to render an account for each and every idle word we say, and that we may not leave our prison until we shall have paid the last farthing. The saints committed few and slight sins, and still they sorrowed much and did severe penances. We commit many and grave sins and sorrow little and do little or no penance. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Take good care always.